Yizzo.
Yeah.
Hey.
Well, fellas, let's let them get on in the room. The comments coming in. If you're in here, give us a thumbs up. Say hey, say what's up, say something to us. What's up? What's up? Guess what, y'all? Happy Thursday.
We back.
Woo. Welcome back to another Root Access Live. We are your hosts. I am your girl Coco. I got my brothers with me, Mr. Root and Jinx. We appreciate y'all pulling up on us tonight. We got something really special for y'all. Yeah. Mr. Root has outdone himself once again. I mean, he went in the bag for y'all tonight, y'all. We got Chicago's finest.
Oh no, you about to get it, Coco.
We got Detroit's finest.
Detroit's finest.
I'm gonna let him get you. Ooh,
don't do that. We got Detroit's finest, Bishop J. Sheard. He's going to be gracing us in a moment with his presence to talk about family ministry and more. Y'all go ahead and start hitting the like button and the share button, and please like and subscribe to all of our platforms, guys. Don't get me. Tell them don't get me, y'all, please.
Oh, Detroit,
he heard you. He heard you, so we're not even gonna play. We just gonna bring him right on.
I'm just get up and walk out.
Yeah, because you can't do that with Detroit people, man. Good Lord, that man.
You know,
I understand.
You know what? I mean, Coco is so beautiful. She get a pass.
Oh, you lucky, you beautiful, Coco.
I really appreciate that pass. I'll take that pass. I wonder if I can use it in the future with these fellas.
Nope.
Hey, it's so good to see you, Mr. Root.
Good to see you, Bishop.
Man, it's good to see you. Jinx, is that? I mean, that beard, man, that's sweet, huh?
Bishop, I'm doing the best I can with what I got. They told me, they said pastors normally don't have beards, but I told them I'm changing the narrative.
You want to hear a funny story? You know, of course, you know my mom passed in April, and so I had a COVID beard. I grew it. My wife and my daughter, they loved it. And on Mother's Day, I was getting ready to go to church, make a tape, and I looked in the mirror and I started thinking about my mom, and I said, my mom didn't like beards no way, and I cut it off.
And you cut it off. Wow.
If I cut my beard off, my wife might have a problem with it, so I think I got to keep my beard.
Okay.
You got to keep the beard. Bishop, you didn't let me do my introduction. I'm going to do it anyway. Man, so many adjectives for this man. He's a pastor of Grady Emmanuel Institutional Church in Detroit, Michigan. He's the husband of one Cameron Clark Sheard. He's the father of Kiera Sheard and J. Drew Sheard. They are amazing musicians. He's a grandfather. He's a record executive. We would not have gotten the Clark Sisters 3-time Grammy Award-winning album if it wasn't for him. And he's a general board member of the Church of God in Christ. Welcome, Bishop J. Drew Sheard to Root Access Live.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
Also, congratulations on the new addition on your son-in-law. You got a new son-in-law.
Yes.
You know what? He's such a great guy until we leave the in-law off. He's just another son.
I love that.
I love it.
Great guy. He really is.
That's another thing. That's one thing I love about y'all family. Y'all some loving folks. Y'all love on everybody genuinely. You guys are like the epitome of family life.
Yeah, absolutely. And Bishop, our birthdays are a day apart. So I'm New Year's Eve. He's New Year's Day. So happy belated birthday to you, Bishop.
Thank you, man. And the same to you. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you. So, Bishop, we normally do our hot topics, and we'll just talk about some hot topics with you. What do you make of everything that's going on in our country, man, with this impeachment, with, Donald Trump saying the votes, and we're like on the brink of a civil war.
Yes,
so,
sir.
you know, I mean, all of this stuff is really biblical anyway. And I know you as a pastor in the Lord's church, what do you make of all of this?
Well, you know, first of all, I've got some problems with some of my brothers and sisters in ministry who have just stood with this gentleman through this whole process. I'll tell you what, I believe that, you know, people have said, well, it was that God intended for Trump to be in office. And I can go along with that, because if that is the case, then he had, and I said this before the election, he had done what he was supposed to do. And that was make the courts more conservative, because the courts were getting kind of out of hand for the Christian aspect. And so he made the courts a little bit more conservative. And so I said, once he did that, he had finished his task. It was time for him to go. And so the aftermath is that he has shown that he was not the people's president. You know, I mean, I do that, you know, but it doesn't even look right coming from the president when he does this, you know, and he keeps doing that. And so what happened on last Wednesday was just absolutely absurd. It was an atrocity. And to think that he dropped a dime, if I can say it like that, he dropped a dime on the political officials and the vice president. He dropped the dime on them and called those people to go up there. And so I think that the House of Representatives had done the right thing by impeaching him a second time. And I think that when the Senate resumes, that they will have a trial, and hopefully there will be some penalties for it, because he's way out of line. He's way out of line. So, you know, a lot of times, and to go back to the issue of my evangelical brothers and sisters saying that God wanted him there. A lot of times God will put us in a place, but we can disqualify ourselves while we're there, and then it's time to go.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know?
Come on,
And
somebody.
so, you know, I'm not arguing. I didn't vote for the man either time. And but I'm not, you know, I don't argue too much about, you know, God put him there. Well, God put him there. He made the courts more conservative. And so it's time to go now, because, you know, I'm very angry at him. I'll be very honest with you. I'm very angry. I think his mishandling of the COVID, it cost me my mother. It almost cost me my father. My brother had it. My son, my daughter had it. I've got other friends that have died because of. So I'm very angry. And then for me to sit on and watch television and see him say we're turning the curve, and this is the highest that the numbers have ever been. I was very angry, man, and I had a problem with that. So I better stop talking about that, because I think you hear my passion coming out in there.
No, that's all right, and I'm glad that you said that. I'm glad because yesterday I happened to be tuned in to your podcast on your Wednesday night Bible study.
Okay.
And you led off with the tragedies or the events that happened on 2 Wednesdays in a row. And I was really happy to hear that, because a lot of the times you don't see the clergy stepping in the forefront like that, or I haven't seen many. They used to step back, and, you know, they're stepping back now, and used to be them, you know, standing on the corners and preaching and bringing folks in. So I'm really glad that you brought that up. So, you know, I know Jinx has been, you know, one of the pastors or part of the clergy who has been on the front as well. So, you know, I really appreciate you bringing that up, and you mentioning how angry you was and your passion, because I know that means that you want to do something for it. And I feel like that you would be less, or you would probably feel less than a leader if you didn't speak upon these issues. Yeah,
absolutely. I think that is my lot. You know, I mean, people have, I was actively involved in civil rights. I used to be the executive director for the Michigan chapter of SCLC. So I've always been involved in civil rights, of course. And so there are just some things that I think that the people that we're leading, they expect to hear what we have to say. They don't always agree with what we say, but they expect to hear how we feel about certain things that are going on. I'm sorry, but I can't wait until this man is out of office. I think we'll just start feeling better. I just think we'll start feeling better about it.
Right.
The day that Joe Biden was elected, I just start feeling better.
Right.
And so I think
Bishop, I want to ask you this question. You were talking about the evangelical constituents. You and I are both pastors in the Pentecostal church, and so I have a little bit of an issue with our brothers and sisters in the Pentecostal church, some leaders who have not spoken out. But I also look at the evangelical leaders who are now cursing individuals. What is your thought on what we've seen from the evangelical pastors who are going this far? Have we ever seen this before?
Somebody sent me that I think it was on Facebook where this pastor was cursing people, and all these people had their hands up and whatnot, and you kind of want to ask the question, what are you thinking about? What in the name of Jehoshaphat are you thinking about? And then it angers you because they, it's like, really, do you know the word? Do you know the word of God? Right. Because and I know that a lot of people say, well, he wasn't for abortion, he wasn't for the gay act and whatnot. Let's be perfectly honest about this. The United States of America is a melting pot. Mm-hmm. It has all kinds of people in it. It's got gay people. It's got it's got smokers, drinkers, liars, fornicators. All of that is in the United States of America. We were electing a president, not a pastor. Mm. I hope you're hearing what I'm saying. We were electing a president of the United States, not a pastor of the United States. Right. And the president is supposed to do what's best for the people. The pastor is supposed to do what's right for your soul. Now, that's right. Makes a difference. That's right. And so, and so that was my issue with them, and they went off on that. And I've been on TV going at some of these guys. Are you serious? Have you lost your mind? This guy is gone. He gone, man. Gone. He's gone. Okay, he's gone. Wow. I'm sorry, man. And I probably, some of my passion is due to I lost my mom, and
man. And we were praying hard for you, man. We were praying hard for you.
I appreciate it.
Continue condolences and prayers to your family.
Yeah, it was just a crazy thing for me. That's all. And I don't understand them. And I don't know. I don't understand, because you got some African American Pentecostal pastor,
absolutely
pro-Trump, and I just didn't get it, Jinx. I'm being honest with you, man. I tried to see.
Better days are coming. Eviction day is coming soon.
I like that, Coco. Eviction day.
You got it right.
I'm up out of here.
Now, Bishop, we were talking.
And you know what? There are people been saying, well, what if he don't leave? I say, let me tell you something. Them servicemen, they don't like him.
Right. They're waiting for the day.
You understand? And when his time is up, they will put him out there on Black Lives Boulevard. You understand?
That's right.
They don't
leave him right there
doing what they are assigned to do. So you'll see.
Bishop, we were talking briefly backstage about, the last time I interviewed you, it was at the COGIC convention in 2012, and you were running for a general board member. And of course, you got that seat. Dwayne Seats, Dwayne Seats is in this comment. Like,
you see him?
Endorse my bishop. Pastor Dwayne Seats is not playing. Seats, you're my guy. Bishop is my guy too. look, I'm not COGIC because they say you can't join in, you got to be born in. I'm like Baptist Costal. but we are riding for Bishop. So, it's 8 years later, and now you are going for re-election. Can you tell us a bit about the process and all that? I'm fascinated with specifically the COGIC Church, because just the way that you guys do business, it's fascinating to me. Even when I've been to a couple of the conventions, and it's really a movement. So can you talk to us a bit about that?
Yeah, well, what has happened is, due to COVID-19, we had to cancel all of our conventions meeting in place, and so the key to leadership and the key to staying connected was we had to find another way to connect, and so we had some virtual conferences. And so this was last year was election year. Of course, our election, it coincides with the presidential election. So last year, November was the election year. And so we had to figure out how we were going to have an election, because the general board terms had expired in November. And so the chairman of the General Assembly, Bishop Thuston, and his committee they came up with a way to have a virtual election, and the virtual election will be on February 23rd, and that's when we will elect our officers for this present, or this quadrennial that we are actually in right now. And so it's going to be done virtually. It's going to be done virtually. Yeah.
Well, you got a lot of people. I mean, in these comments, Team Sheard 2021. Like, this is, I love this, man.
It's an open public meeting, correct?
I beg your pardon?
Is it an open public meeting? Everybody will be able to, they'll be able to look since it's virtual?
No, it's the delegates only. You got to be able to, you've got to be a delegate to come into that virtual General Assembly.
Okay.
Now, Bishop, with Bishop Blake retiring.
Yes.
At this point, now I'm born and raised Church of Our Lord Jesus Christ.
Okay.
And
cool, so, JC.
Yeah,
that's
cool.
It. Bishop W. Bonner, W.O. Bonner. That was a preaching man.
So when Bishop Bonner passed,
oh yeah, one of the best to ever do it.
Yes, sir. There was never another chief, and there will never be another chief. At this point, we just have, I've transitioned out, but they just have another presider. Now, is Church of God in Christ the same way? Will there be another presider?
Absolutely. Well, you got to remember, Bishop Charles Harrison Mason was the founder of the Church of God in Christ. He was the, since that time, we've had several presiding bishops. And so Bishop Blake retiring, of course, that seat is open. And so you've got, I believe you got 4 candidates who are hoping. So you got to get elected to the general board first before you can run for the office of presiding bishop. So I understand that we have 4 persons who are hoping that they'll be elected to the general board, and then they're going to pursue the office of presiding bishop.
Now, Bishop,
yes,
I gotta ask you, how about you?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna run if my numbers come in high. If
yes, sir.
You heard it here. Exclusive.
No, I think that if my numbers come in high enough, and the Lord willing, and I believe that it is the Lord's will, that I'm going to pursue that office. There's some things I'd like to see the church do, and I've got a plan. You can go to Sheard2021.com and you can see my plan on my internet, on my page rather. And yes, I plan to pursue it. Is the only way I won't pursue it is that I don't get high enough in the vote count. I'm not going to embarrass myself. If people don't want you on the general board, then they certainly ain't going to want you on as the leader. That web page again is Sheard2021.com.
2021.
Yeah. 2021.
Thank you. Thank you for that,
On
Bishop.
the looks of the comment sections, you got a lot of votes.
Yeah, man. You got a chance, Bishop.
You got a chance.
And Dwayne Seats can be your vice.
That's my main man.
That's my man too.
Main man right here in my jurisdiction, and
yep.
And of course I love him.
Yeah, man, he's a good brother. Good brother.
Oh, yeah.
Now, Bishop, the former Michigan governor, he's been charged for the Flint water crisis. I mean, after all of these years, and you had spearheaded an effort through your church and your ministry to send water to Flint. So you actually sent water to Flint. So you've been on the front line with this. What do you think about this? Like, I'm so shocked that after all of this time now, like, he should have been charged. Like, this was a travesty in our country. Right. You know, like, it's just crazy to me.
Absolute derelicting response.
Yeah, great word.
And they need to deal with it, you know, because those people in Flint, and I used to pastor a church there in Flint, and those people were devastated by that. You know, the water was brown, you know. Even now, sometimes when you go to Flint, you don't want to drink no water because you're
nervous.
Right. You know. Right. And so yes, we pulled together some of the pastors and just had oh man, I forgot how many truckloads of water we took to Flint, and had one of our churches there, Pastor Christopher Martin, that we used his church, one of the churches in my jurisdiction, as a focal point to give out water. And even now that water campaign continues. And so, yes, you know, it was a total travesty, and it was done because of the derelicting of the person who was in charge. Responsibility. They didn't do what they were supposed to do, and then they tried to shortcut and get away from the city of Detroit. You know, sometimes people in Michigan try to act like Detroit is so bad, but Detroit has got some of the best water in the nation. And so you know, trying to circumvent our system and do their own thing, and it blew up on them. So, you know, unfortunately.
And it seems like that's going on a lot. Neglect from the authorities is causing a lot of havoc around these parts.
Sure. Absolutely. Yeah. You're absolutely right.
Now, Bishop, did you ever have any contact with Governor Snyder to talk with him about what he was doing or wasn't doing?
No, my relationship, I've never had I've met him and spoke to him, but I didn't have that type of relationship with him. My relationship, of course, was with his predecessor, Governor Jennifer Granholm. And of course, she's now going to be a part of President-elect Biden's cabinet. And then, of course, I have a very strong relationship with Governor Whitmer, who is our governor now. And I think she's doing a fantastic job under the circumstances and the hand that she has been dealt with.
Now, What about Snyder being charged? How do you feel about that? Do you feel as if he is directly responsible?
I may not be directly responsible, but I do believe that he had it's due to some of his failings. And so he needs to be held accountable, just like Donald Trump needs to be held accountable.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that he has 12 lives on his hands from that. 12 people passed.
Yeah. So
and
even more than that, because so many people. Yeah. Bishop, last year was, of course, a tumultuous year for all of us with COVID-19 and with the social unrest. But one of the high points was the Clark Sisters movie.
Yes.
And, I mean, it was epic. And your
we
daughter,
couldn't wait
Kiara,
for it.
We couldn't wait for it. And, you know, Kiara is like one of my best friends in the industry. To see her embody your wife was magical. What did you think about the movie and even the guy who portrayed you? Did you get to meet him? Tell us a bit about that experience.
Well, I didn't meet him, but I did. Somebody was doing an interview, And he was doing an interview, and somebody called me and asked me would I come on and surprise him. I did go on and surprise him. He seemed to be a very nice guy. I understand that Kiara had to give him a few pointers, and she told him, he said, well, now let me tell you now, my daddy is fly, so you're going to have to get
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
So
I think he did good because he was smooth like you. So I like it.
He wasn't Bishop Sheard though.
He wasn't Bishop. I mean, he's an actor. He's an actor.
Number one is I never NEVA. I never got on my knees in no snow to propose. Okay, never.
I'm glad you cleared that up.
To do that,
I was about to say, oh, he loved him some Karen.
Right.
But
and then the movie, the thing happened. Dr. Holly Carter, who is a sister, and we're very close, and she came to me and said, well, hey, what do you think about doing a movie with the Clark sisters? And I said, yeah. I say, hey, let's do it, and so we all had a part in writing the script and whatnot, and we had a good time doing it. And of course, I was I think I'm like one of the executive producers or something, and I never went on set.
How humble was that? I
never went on set. I mean, I didn't do it. I mean, when they got to the last part, when they were shooting, I think in Toronto, my wife went on set, and she went there and sat in the director's chair and said, no, that don't go like that. So she earned my check, but give me my money, but we had a great time. It was phenomenal. And just to clear, just to set something straight right here on this show, every single Clark sister was notified about making this album. I mean, about making this movie. Every single one of them. And the ones that, one of them did not respond. But let me tell you something. It wasn't that she was not invited. And I got a paper trail to prove that she knew about it.
Okay.
And because I'm a businessman, I don't play these games.
That's right.
And so that's why the movie even went on, is because I had my stuff together to prove that everybody had been notified and everybody responded,
except for this.
No, everybody responded.
Everybody.
Everybody responded.
Y'all getting some information right here.
I want you to get it. Everybody responded. I got the information to prove that, but one person responded negatively and did not meet the deadlines.
Okay, got you. Y'all heard it here first. That's a rule.
So everything else.
So everything else you heard is not true. I'm here to tell you. Let's straighten it out.
He's a man of his word. Thank you for that.
Let the record show. You heard it right here.
Let the record show.
That's right.
All right.
Because that's true. If you know anything about movies and things of that nature, like I just completed a documentary, and it's true, you have to have paperwork or you can get sued. So you can't just put people's name in there and their likeness and they not know and sign off on it. So to Bishop's point, yeah, that's true. So anything else is no. But thank you for that, Bishop. Now we spoke earlier about you lost your mom during the pandemic, but you still you and your church, you were still able to help other people during the pandemic, and you raised over $100,000 for other people who were suffering through this pandemic. Where did that strength come from? Because you're dealing with the loss of your mom, your dad was gravely sick, and yet you still came out of yourself and was able to do that.
Well, you know what? Somebody asked me through that period, say, well, man, I know you're very hurt. You want to lay back and don't do nothing. And true enough, I was devastated. My mom was, my mom had her sick days, but my mom was up and going. I mean, she still driving. My mom, so to lose my mom like that, it was very devastating. But nevertheless, I have a call on my life, and the call on my life is ministry. And so I could not afford to allow my personal life to hinder my God-given or my God calling, and there were some people, some people had pastors that were on the verge of losing their churches, and just really, almost completely out of business. And so we gathered together a group to, I got on, and my wife and I, we spearheaded raising the money. It did it like a telethon, and people gave approximately $100,000. I had a separate committee to determine who would get the money. They applied for the money, and they determined who would get the money, because I didn't want to be in that part of it.
Sure.
And
because you know how the church folk would have been, Bishop. They didn't say, Bishop ain't give me no money.
You know what I'm saying?
Got it separated.
And so they did an excellent job. We gave away every dime. There was no handling fee, no administrative fee from my ministry. We gave all of that money away, and that's what we do. That's not a put on. That's my passion. It's helping people. Absolutely. And I say that in this election season, if people are doing or giving money to churches and ministries just because it's election season, then you won't be able to get anything out of them until 2024. But if it's a person who is acting because of their passion, that person who has passion is going to see the need, and then they're going to meet that need, because that's what ministry is, meeting the needs of people.
Absolutely. Now, Bishop, you're a bishop. You're always busy. You're a family man as well. What do you do in your downtime? You like sports? You listen to music? Like, what do you do?
And he raises this gold cup in my face as he asks. I believe it or not, I don't have a lot of spare time, but in my spare time, I play video games.
No. Really?
Yeah.
No, I was not expecting that at all. What do you play?
They old now.
I'm about to say he probably played Pac-Man.
Oh,
that's all right.
I got a Pac-Man machine in my house.
I knew it.
Yeah. And of course, that machine has about 100 games on it, And
you got that one. I know.
Yeah.
Big arcade.
Yeah, it's a big old thing over there. As a matter of fact, my cousin gave it to me. Jay Moss, he bought it for me one year and gave it to me. And then I have a video, Nintendo, stuff like that. I got that stuff up there, man. And I dibble and dabble in it. I do stuff to exercise my mind. And then I work out on a regular basis. I work out just about every day.
Oh,
and we appreciate you. You keep giving us exclusives. I was not expecting you to say video games. That was the furthest thing from my mind.
But he got grandkids. He kind of got to have to play.
I was doing that before they came.
Really?
No, Karen and I, when we were dating, we would go to this place. I would go to this area in the city. It was called Greek Town. And we would go to Greek Town, and they had all these arcades, and we would hang out. That was a date for us. We go to the arcade and play games.
Oh, I love love. That's so cute. I love y'all.
How long have you guys been married?
36 years.
Good God.
That's a long time to be.
They don't make them like that no more.
Bishop. They don't do that no more.
Yeah. The gift that keeps on giving. 36 years.
Bishop, we want to be cognizant of your time. It is 7:35. So we've got over 100 people watching this right now. If you could take the next 5 minutes and encourage us and help us to hold on just a little while longer, and also give you a pitch for the election, we'd love to hear it.
Wow.
Well, let me share something with you. It's a sermon that I preached on last Sunday, and I hope I don't get in trouble by doing this. But and I want to read this scripture, and it's found in 1 Samuel, the 11th chapter and the 2nd verse. And this is what it says. It says, Nahash, the Ammonite, responded, I'll make a treaty with you on this one condition. I'll poke out everyone's right eye and bring disgrace on all Israel. Now, this scripture is about the enemy trying to take advantage of God's chosen people. Now, the significance of poking out the right eye is that whenever you were using a weapon, you would always put it up to your left eye to hold it there, and you found the enemy out of your right eye. So if they poke your right eye out, they debilitated you, and you could not fight. And so they made this treaty thinking that they were at the end of in other words, Israel, God's chosen people, was throwing in the towel. They was waving the white flag, and this was the treaty. Let us poke your right eye out. But they stalled long enough, and they stalled long enough until King Saul, who had already been anointed king but was still doing agricultural work, he heard what was going on, and he pulled the armies together and went and wiped them out. Now, here's my point in it. I know that it seems real bad for a lot of people at this time, and the devil is trying to poke your right eye out. But I came by to tell you tonight that God is going to save you from embarrassment. If you can just hold on, help is on the way.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yo.
Yes.
Did he just pull it out the bag like a rapper? Like it was like freestyle, Bishop. I want you to freestyle.
That's why we're the GOATs.
Yeah.
Bless you, man. I love y'all.
Love you, Bishop. I can't wait to see you, man, after this pandemic. I came to Detroit for the for Kiara's recording, but I didn't get a chance to see you. But
that was
man,
a weird thing, man. I had to preach somewhere, and it was a big mess, man. I felt so, and I was so, because Kiara is so independent until she could go on and do stuff, and then expect everybody to be there. I said,
you ain't even know the date. I'm like, I'm gonna be out of town. That was so crazy. That was so crazy, but it's always a pleasure, Bishop. Hello, Sheard 2021. That's the hashtag, everybody. Yeah. Bishop is going up for re-election for COGIC, and I speak prophetically. He will be the next Bishop Blake. You heard it here first.
Come on, bro.
I see it. I see it. Yeah, I see it. I see it. Right. So you're always a pleasure, man. You're a man of God. You're a father. You're a great husband, and you're a great example to the body of Christ. And I just wanted to tell you that publicly, and thank you. And we continue to pray for you because in the loss of your mother. I mean, I can't even imagine, but, like you said, COVID, and this is because of leadership, bad leadership, and we are left with the residue. So, I continue to pray for you, Bishop, and your family. I love your family. I love what you stand for, and thank you for blessing us with your presence on Root Access Live.
Thank you for gracing us with your presence. We look forward to speaking with you again, sir.
All right. And remember, I'm from Detroit, Coco.
I promise I won't forget it. I promise I won't forget it.
Love you, Bishop.
Love you,
Bishop.
All right.
Good night. Oh man, that was good, y'all.
That was one of my favorite Root Access Live interviews.
Yeah, that was good. Appreciate y'all for dropping by with us. We ain't done yet either. I want to talk about this Kyle Rittenhouse character. Remember the kid whose mom drove him across several state lines to Kenosha, Wisconsin to join a protest after the police had shot Joshua Blake in the back. But he drove to the protest that had nothing to do with him. A minor killed 2 people and injured another one. This kid is out on bail, y'all.
And he partying it up.
Yeah, he had bars. He got on T-shirts, exuding white power. But his lawyer said that they didn't want him near bars and people like the Proud Boys and other racial, what do you call it? Let's just say other gang members or gangs who don't like us.
Real quick, Coco. Robert Gambrell's asking where are we from? I'm from the Boogie Down. I'm from the Boogie Down Bronx. Let him know where you're from, Jinx.
Originally from Jersey, but now by way of Delaware.
And I'm from the one and only Trenton, New Jersey.
The capital city. The capital city.
Trenton makes what the world takes.
You already know.
The world takes.
You know it. That's right.
All right. Let us be Official again. Okay, go
Yes.
ahead. Sorry.
This guy,
but anyway,
behind bars.
He's out in bars. He's only 18 years old. I guess they have different laws down there. I know he's 21 to drink here, but they're trying to keep him out of bars and, you know, places where, you know, he could consume alcohol because it leads to violence. Apparently everybody knows that this kid is a threat to society, but he's out on bail. He's not out because he's supposed to be out. Somebody bailed him out. I don't know what the bail money is. I don't know why they ain't leave.
Oh, well, a couple of people was raising money. Like, do you remember the show Silver Spoons? You remember the show Silver Spoons?
Yeah.
Ricky Schroeder is one of the people that he gave a lot of money to bail this kid out. I mean, that's what they do, though, man. Like, I'm not surprised. This guy, he's young, but he knew what he was doing. And he needs to be held accountable because, again, we hate to sound like a broken record, but if it was the other way around, I probably wouldn't have made bail. It probably wouldn't have been no bail.
My mom would be in jail. I would be under the jail. If she drove me across state lines with weapons of mass destruction,
they would have charged her with a felony.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you guys got to remember this. This is another person that, you know, your boy 45 praised. This is ridiculous. It is. It like Root said, it's becoming, you know, repetitive. We keep saying the same thing over and over again. Look, we said it last week.
Yep.
Everything that happened at the Capitol. If that would have been people that look like us, we would be talking about a lot of deaths, a lot of bloodshed, and a lot of, you know, sad times for Black people. So it's not. It's at this point, it doesn't even surprise me.
Right.
What would surprise me if he was still in jail? That's what would surprise me. You know, we saw him in these pictures at the bars drinking with the white power sign up. Didn't surprise me. Didn't surprise me at all. It is exactly what I expect. And just like when we were talking with Bishop Sheard, this is what this president has said. He's emboldening this behavior. He is egging this behavior on. And this is, unfortunately, the climate that we live in. And I just pray that over the next 4 years, we can kind of shift it back, because this is a dangerous time. These are dangerous times.
This guy knows entirely too much to be breaking up with our country right now. This is going to be something. So as Biden has the victory, but he's going to have to continue to fight. I think we spoke about that before. It's going to be a fight, and it's going to be a lot going on. So we just got to stay woke. I believe that on the 17th here in the capital city, there's supposed to be some sort of protest, and, you know, people are really scared because
this isn't the time to protest. I'm going to tell you that right now.
I'm sorry.
This is not the time to protest.
Yeah.
And I don't want I don't want anybody protesting right now. I don't care what color you are. Black, white, yellow, green, red, doesn't matter.
Hold on, y'all. Before we move any further, we definitely need to give a rest in peace shout out to Miss Darenice Pace.
Oh,
yes.
I'm
I'm sorry.
Yeah. We actually talked about that with Bishop Sheard.
Darenice Pace of the legendary Pace sisters. She passed away today. It was a shock to me. I didn't even know she was sick. She was only 62 years old. She's the oldest of the Pace sisters, and this comes only 5 months after the death of their mom. Only 5 months. So, man, this is a big.
And she was just, you know, talking about how she had some projects and events coming up, you know, after she had gotten well. Like, this was it, maybe within a week or so. So.
Yeah, and for those of you who need a reminder of who she is, over the past couple years, anytime Thanksgiving comes around, she's coming to the door. I mean, she went viral, man. Yeah, she was on the Steve Harvey show. You know, and I think she brought Steve to tears just by her singing. Like, she was such a breath of fresh air, and I was so happy that I was able to interview the Pace sisters. For the BMI Trailblazers, we did the magazine for the Trailblazers. So it was like Israel Houghton on one side and the Pace sisters on the other. And I remember her specifically being very, you know, just appreciative. She was like, you know, nobody ever put us on the magazine before. This whole them being honored, she was just like, it's such a blessing. And she was so happy. So, man, rest in peace. Shout out to her. She's going to be missed. You know, prayers go off to her son. And to all that knew her. And Zach Williams, I know he's definitely hurting because he collaborated on some things with her, I think last year. And she recently, recently she spoke into Zach's life. and just a bunch of stuff, man.
These sisters slept on so much. Like, what is wrong?
They really are, man. They really are. They're definitely underrated, and hopefully Unsung will probably maybe do something for them.
LaShawn Pace is one of the best vocalists I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah.
Life.
Absolutely. They're definitely underrated. Just like the group Witness. I think they're underrated. Yeah, man, the Pace sisters definitely praying. It's a lot of them. They're a very close-knit family, much like the Clark sisters and the Sheard family and the Moss family. But they're from Atlanta, of course. So definitely our prayers go out to them.
Oh, wow. Somebody think that today is her son's birthday, too.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Never be the same. His birthday will never be the same.
Never be the same.
This is true. Will never be the same, man. We got to keep him in our prayers. Wow.
Speaking of,
that just broke me down. That just broke me.
I'm gonna bring you back up. Speaking of underrated, y'all been sleeping on the Brooklyn Nets for a long time, and now they got three over there. They got Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, and Mr. James Harden. Now each of them are a powerhouse alone, but together they might be a problem, y'all. What's up?
No, they are going to be a problem. A head case.
Okay.
First of all, because now y'all want to talk sports, I'm the resident sports agent here.
Let's go.
Here's the reality: is Kyrie Irving going to play basketball, or is he going to?
We don't know. See, that's the head case, though.
That's number one. Kyrie Irving has a problem. Oh, Kim, just stop. Kyrie Irving has a problem because he thinks that the world revolves around him. Kyrie Irving didn't want the head coach. Kyrie Irving didn't want, like, if you look at Kyrie Irving's time with the Cleveland Cavaliers when he was with Bron, like he always wants to find a problem about something.
I mean, he's from Jersey.
Well,
so what you trying to say? Hold on.
I mean, hey,
I didn't have nothing to do with that. I didn't have nothing to do with that.
James Harden is fat and out of shape. That's the bottom line. James Harden put on like.
Ooh, I saw a meme of him yesterday.
I'm not.
He looked great.
I don't believe
he put on that much weight. I saw those memes, but I don't think he put on that much weight.
I'm over exaggerating, but if you look at the pictures, you'll see James is not.
He looking like a thick video chick out here.
Wow.
I'll be honest, right? On paper, with those three, the Nets can beat anybody. If those three are locked in, the Nets can beat anybody. The problem with that is there's only one basketball. So James Harden,
right,
Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving are all used to having the ball in their hand all game long. So now you're gonna have an issue. You're gonna have an issue. Who takes the last shot? Who's the dominant ball handler? I heard Stephen A. Smith say that Kyrie Irving is the third option. You think that Kyrie Irving is going to be okay?
Oh, he's not going to be nobody's third option.
Come on, it's going to be a problem. Kyrie Irving is going to retire.
Well, let me say this: ain't nobody getting past LA anyway.
The Lakers are going to win a championship again.
The Lakers are going to win again.
Yeah, this is not. And I this is what I hope. I hope that the Nets make it to the championship because I want them to play against LeBron and the Lakers. I do. It would be, don't get me wrong, it would go 7 games and it would take LeBron and AD and the Lakers having to literally ball out every single night to win. I believe they will win 4-3, but it would be a phenomenal series because let's be honest, you can't tell me that Kyrie Irving, James Harden, and Kevin Durant, every single one of them guys can take over a game whenever they want to, and they can really impact the game in a major way. So we'll see what happens. If Steve Nash can control their heads, if he can get them to play together, the Nets are going to be dangerous.
Come on, y'all. You know what? I hope they lose because they should have hired Mark Jackson.
They should have hired Mark Jackson. That's a whole nother topic, but that's
a whole other topic. So I hope they get to the championship and lose because they should have hired Mark Jackson instead of Steve Nash, who has no experience.
No coaching experience.
Ladies, this is the part where I set back a little bit. I just call out the names. I don't be knowing all the stats and stuff, so I just let them go in. I wish I had a whistle in here sometimes because they get right. Jinx get all excited. You see him? I had to bring y'all back up for a minute now.
Dang, Cole, you know that.
Well, anyway. How about this? How about Coco, if you go to jail, they're gonna give you a Jello. I'm just saying it, hypothetically speaking, Coco, relax.
Where are you going?
If you go to jail, they're gonna give you a Jello cup, probably like some old bread, but not if you're Jacob Chansley.
If you're Jacob Chansley, you're
organic food. You get somebody to go pick up your order at Whole Foods or Wegmans.
Did his mother really think that he was going to get some kind of sympathy?
No. Yes.
My son hasn't eaten since he's been in jail because they don't give him all organic food. Well, I'm sorry.
He's going to get really, really sick
before he committed a felony.
He's going to get really, really sick.
That's the epitome of privilege, man. I'm telling you, they don't think outside of their privilege. They can't see. Like the girl who was on she was on all the news outlets, and she's just like, "Oh my God, like I got maced."
Yes,
he's like, "Why did you get maced?" Because we rushed the Capitol. Why did you rush? Because it's a revolution.
Are you serious? Like, do you hear
showing their faces? They're like telling their names. It's just like, hello.
But they said they didn't plan it, remember? But they had shirts already made and, hotel rooms booked and all that good stuff.
Here's the craziest thing about this is they were doing this in the name of Trump. But it is Trump who wrote the law that's going to prosecute them all. Trump
he wrote it with us in mind.
For Black Lives Matter. He didn't write the law for them. But the reality is the same law that he wrote against Black Lives Matters when it comes to destroying property, when it comes to destroying federal property. Well, guess what they did? They destroyed federal property. They broke windows, vandalized the Capitol, broke into people's offices. So now they all can be charged to the fullest extent of the law, which is 10 years behind bars. Go figure.
I hope they get the maximum sentence.
They get it too.
I really, really do. And guess what? This is good. I don't think they thought all this through. Now they're not going to be able to carry guns. They're not going to be able to vote. They're going to have charges against them.
Yep.
So I don't think they thought this thing through. But that is, I didn't expect anything less. Stupidity.
What do you guys think about the inauguration next week? Do you think they should still go through with it, or do you think at this point it should be virtual?
It should be virtual on Zoom in the same room that they do the State of the Union address.
Okay. I mean, everything is different now, so it'll be a first for everybody. So I'm not opposed to it being in person, or I'm not opposed to it being on.
You don't think it's it's a threat? It's dangerous to be in person?
Yeah, but like you said, they can have it in a secret location. They don't necessarily have to.
Okay, but you're talking about like in person, but a private location.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I got you.
Because I thought you were talking about having it outside like they normally do.
Oh no! Not with all that's going on now. Okay. No, it's already planned. I mean, they have more than enough time to plan and attack if they were going to do that. No, absolutely not. No.
Well, apparently the FBI is totally beefed up. It's like now I'm like, usually you hear FBI, you're like they're on it, but after last week's attack, man, I'm just like, yo, I don't even have faith in the FBI anymore.
No. Well, like I said, they security wasn't present because security had to run back to the car to get dressed. They was in there.
Coco said it last week.
Yeah.
And as soon as you said it,
of course it's going to be of course it's going to be beefed up now. They don't have nothing to do. They not on schedule. Well, they got to work.
Here's the craziest part about this. With everything that happened, and we know one of the biggest things that happened, y'all, is 10 Republican congressmen or representatives rather voted for Trump's impeachment. Mm-hmm. Now, come on, y'all, that's huge.
Yeah,
but for you,
representatives is from my area. One of those representatives is from my area, Ms. Bonnie Watson Coleman. She also contracted COVID.
She's a Republican?
No. She's a Democrat.
But I'm talking about
contracted COVID those shenanigans. So I'm a little sad about that.
But the fact that Jinx is saying that's huge is really sad.
Yeah.
It's really sad.
Because if you look at the Senate Majority Leader McConnell, well, he's gonna be Minority Leader in a couple of days. But if you think about it, he's saying that he's on the fence as it relates to the trial to press charges against Trump.
See?
What? Why is that even a question?
Why does it take that much thought? Right?
This man is he's responsible for this whole thing.
Yeah. Y'all, don't let them get you all upset. Don't let them get you all upset. We need you. We need you present for the next couple shows too. Because guess what? In the next couple weeks, we're gonna have a lot to talk about. Y'all already know that.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's just crazy because you think about everything that's happened. You would think more Republicans will want this dude out, but they don't even see his wrongdoing. Like he didn't incite any of this.
No, they see it, bro. They see it. They're just turning a blind eye to it because there are videos of the same Republican leaders who support this guy now. There are videos of these same individuals talking about how unfit he is to be president. So he was unfit when you were running against him, but now he's fit because you lost to him? Come on now. You can't have it both ways. If he's unfit when you're running against him, he's still unfit even if he beats you.
Yep.
And being loyal to a party,
that's exactly what it is, Tara.
Is baby, you're right. But at the same time, like, when do you draw the line? Is it more so about the party or is it about the American people? Because at the end of the day, the American people are suffering because of the individuals who are turning a blind eye to this. So we gotta stop. Like, if it's gonna be about the people, then let it be about the people, not about the party.
Right. That's right. That's right. Well, man, this was a show. This was a show. This was a show, man. I want to thank Bishop J. Drew Sheard for gracing us with his presence. For those of you who are still left, look, y'all know the meeting is coming up in February. We want Bishop to win in large numbers like he did before when he ran in 2012 and then again in 2016. He's definitely necessary to the culture. He's definitely necessary to COGIC. And I'm telling you, I believe it. He's going to be the next.
I believe it too.
I believe it. I can definitely see it. He's a true man of God, a family man, and he's just cool. He's just cool. He's like he got swag.
Yeah,
and,
absolutely.
And the way he just Jinx,
that was good.
He couldn't even say go quick enough.
He was ready.
Got it. I'm ready.
Ready. Like, yeah. So it was wonderful, man. Listen, another great show, guys. I appreciate this space, man, because he cleared up a lot of stuff about that movie too. I want y'all to remember that. We got a couple Root Access Live exclusives. Video game downtime. Number 2, he is going to run for the presider. And number 3, everything that you heard, it ain't true. Everybody was contacted, but y'all know. Y'all know.
Yep. Yeah, I know.
But anyway, y'all, we appreciate y'all hanging out with us. It's been another great show with noble dialogue, decent vibes, excessive energy. Definitely appreciate the Bishop coming on and checking in with us. Thank you all for tuning in this evening. See y'all next Thursday at 7 p.m. for more conversations and hot topics. We love y'all.
Peace.